Everyone, welcome back. My name is Ella and I'm here today with another video for you as part of the Portal video series. So in this video we are going to be focusing on how to enter new submissions into the portal by filling out forms. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm already logged into the portal. I'm going to go to the Fill a Form button to enter a new submission. So when you open up this tab, you can see there's a couple of options. The first being to start a brand new submission, but you can also resume a draft submission. So if you have previously created forms and saved them as a draft, they will appear here. And then there's these other two options, the GeoPaparazzi loader and the bulk loader, but we won't be focusing on those now. They will be covered in future videos. So now back to starting a new submission. This is what we're going to focus on today. So up you can see pops that there's a couple of different existing templates for forms for entering information into the portal. So to keep things simple, we are just going to use the general use form for now. And as you can see, slowly loading up. So when we create a new form, it automatically creates a new ID number for this form. So that is a unique signature associated with this form that we are creating. It also, right off the bat asks us to create a name for this form. So we suggest that you name it something that provides a description of what you're entering into the portal, just so that it's easier to identify when you are searching. So sometimes one thing to note is that when you are first creating a form, it does take a little bit of time to load this up before it allows you to enter information. Oh, but here we go. So we're going to start off by providing a name for this form. We're going to write test submission. The next part of the form is where you can provide information to describe what information you're loading. So here it asks you to write out what type of content you're having, whether that's a movie you're loading in, a story or data, whatever it is, you can write that here. And then it asks you for more information to describe the content, including who you are, the date, any additional information you may have. So then moving on from there, we can go to adding in the spatial information. So this will link this form to any spatial data that you have. So we are going to run through here and practice loading in a shapefile. So as you can see here, I already have a file prepared. We're going to be loading in the shapefile of Burns Lake. One thing to note with the portal is that when you are uploading a shapefile, you need to include all four of these file types, which are the DBF, the PRJ, the shapefile, and the SHX format. So we need all four types of these for it to successfully load into the portal. So as you can see here, I chose the files. They are there, but I do need to click the upload button for it to actually load in. So there you go, you can see it has loaded in now. Awesome, so now we have our shapefile of Burns Lake associated with our test submission. We are also going to load in some attachments that are associated with the submission. So we're going to be pretending that this form we are loading in some data that we collected at Burns Lake. So we are going to go to choose file here, and in this folder I also have a PDF of a data sheet that we have. So I'm going to open that up, add that in to the portal, and I'm going to write a description of what this is. So data from Burns Lake. I'm going to upload that. And then the attachments here, there's multiple different kinds of attachments you can have. So I'm also going to choose file here and load in some photos from our experience at Burns Lake. So photos from the field, also going to load that in. Awesome, so now we have multiple kinds of attachments associated with our submission, and we can move on to linked layers. So linked layers is an opportunity to link your submission to specific geographic areas. So for example, we are going to We are going to link to Burns Lake, obviously, because that is where we collected the data. Link selected. And then we're also going to link to somewhere else in the watershed. Well, we're going to link to the general Nechako watershed boundary, which is this file here. So basically, what the linked layers do is they just add another, another method of linking to geographic features. And that way, when people search for Burns Lake or the Nechako watershed, this submission is going to pop up along with any others that have that are associated with those locations. Awesome. So then these last few elements of the form here are, less important at this point, but good to know about. So you can link your submission to what is called a parent submission. So the parent and child feature basically allows you to link submissions with ones that have previously been submitted. And you might want to do this if it's maybe an extension of the same data set or if it's an amendment to a submission that you created before. So that's an option there. Then the permissions feature basically allows you to choose which groups, which user groups in the portal you want to be able to see what you have just submitted. So for now, the only option, and we only have one group, so we only can provide permission to the stewardship group, but there will be more groups coming in, so this gives you an opportunity to choose who you want to be able to see your submission. And then finally, at the end here, we have the option to send an email out to somebody who is, maybe might be interested to know that you have created this submission. So I will be sending an email to my personal email here. Awesome. So then once we have done that, we are going to hold this submission as a draft because one thing that is important to know about the portal is that once you have created your submission and once you have submitted it, it is permanently in the portal and you are not able to make changes anymore. So we've saved it as a draft so we can think it over. We're going to resume the draft though. So I'll just show you how to do that. That we are working on general use 341. So I'm going to open that back up again. You can see the information I loaded, test submission is there. And now we are having an error, which is too bad. But basically we did make our way through creating the submission. And if we wanted to actually load into the portal, we would have just written a submit form. So that is the end of our tutorial on how to fill a form and enter data into the portal. Thanks so much. See you in the next video.